Megan O'Leary here with welterweight champion George St. Pierre. George had some big news today. Nick Diaz no longer facing him. It will be Carlos Condit. And George, you found out the news just before us here at the press conference. Can you kind of walk us through the past 48 hours when you're in Toronto doing media, flying from Montreal to Toronto and now here, and your thoughts about Nick?
Well, I show up in Toronto and I learned that he was not coming, so I was a little bit pissed off because it's not fair. I derailed from my training camp, from my training routine. So I said, all right, you know, I don't really care about the reason why he did not show up. Maybe something bad happened to him. It happened. Show up in Vegas, and now not only that he did not show up, I learned that the fight is not going to happen, and I'm fighting Carlos Condit, so I'm a little bit taking off guard. I don't know what to say. It's for me, it doesn't make sense for me because I worked my whole life to be world champion for that opportunity, and once you have the opportunity and you don't take it, it doesn't make sense for me. You know, I just don't understand.
Was there any hesitation when Dana told you you'd be facing Carlos Condit, or did you absolutely want that fight and jump right on it?
I have no choice. I'm the champion. I'm fighting who they gave me, and it's a short notice for me. It's short notice for whoever they would have put in front of me. So things like this in the fighting business, it happen. So you have to be ready for every eventuality, for every possibility.
Now, you cleared up something at the press conference, but for those who weren't watching the press conference, explain you and Carlos. You train at Greg Jackson sometimes. Carlos Condit trains there. However, you said you never trained together, so you weren't really teammates.
No, he's a very nice guy. We crossed paths a couple of times. He's always very nice, and he's a great human being and a good person. But no, we never trained together, but we had the same training partners.
Do you have to think about how you're going to approach this camp now? Will there be any differences with you going to Jackson's?
Yeah, but I'm staying in Montreal most of the time in New York. Greg normally is coming in Montreal to help me train, but now I got to talk to Greg to see what's going on, what would happen.
Right, you had it.
I love Greg and I love everyone at Jackson. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to talk to Greg, see if he's going to step out and watch both of us fight, or if he's going to take a side. I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to Greg to see what's going on.
And you had a teammate, Rory MacDonald, who faced Carlos Condit. Do you feel like that kind of gives you a little bit of an advantage? You've seen him fight your teammate, so you obviously worked with Rory for that fight. You feel like you know a little bit about Carlos and his fighting style?
I know a little bit about Carlos, but he's got better every fight. You know, he's got a big diversity of attacks. So this fight is much more dangerous than Nick Diaz.
Where do you feel like Carlos is the most dangerous?
Standing up and on the ground. He's very, very well rounded. He's an opportunist. He's like a sniper, like they say a killer on the promotion video, and that's what he is. He's a opportunist guy.
All right, let's change the subject a little bit. UFC's been making huge announcements. They're now going to have fights on Fox, which is a giant TV station here in America, and they're going to have fights in Japan. And you being a martial artist and so dedicated to the sport, is that something that excites you, something you would love to do, fight in Japan?
Of course. I'm from traditional martial art background, Kyokushin Karate. It's from Japan. It would be a dream for me to fight out there.
All right, well, thank you so much, George. I know it's been a rough day. I appreciate your time.
It's always a pleasure.